Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the new dumbest automotive YouTube channel on the planet, Throttle Grotto. What have I done now? You'll find out. All right, everyone, I have made yet another dumb automotive decision. No, it's not uncovering a 928 and getting back to work on that. That could be considered smart, but maybe not. We'll see. We're going to get back to the 928 here this week. Good news, I sold the sandbar, which meant there was room in the garage for about 4 days. I had a car come up on Facebook that I couldn't pass up. Some of you might already know it from Instagram or some social media stuff. But yes, I bought another K car. But it's an awesome K car. But it's not in awesome condition. Let's check it out. All right, everybody, here we go. I bought a Suzuki Cappuccino. Now from here, it don't look too bad. It looks like it's pretty complete. Then we're gonna look, nope, it's ruined. Somebody ruined this poor car, which is kind of sad because I really do kind of dig this blue-green color. It doesn't look too bad right here. And then we get over to this side. Yep, that's pretty bad. That's real bad. But this car runs and drives after some manipulation on this side with a piece of chain and a snatch strap and my truck. I was able to at least get the fender out of the tire enough to drive it around the block, and believe it or not, it drove pretty good. No overheating. There is a dash warning light on. What I presume is the check engine light is on. But hey, let's check this thing out because it's still a really cool little car. It is a turbocharged 3-cylinder. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Cappuccino, it has a 3-piece roof. Each one of these sections works individually. So you can take each side out, run it with just like a T-top, or take this whole section out completely and then drive with the rear window up, or the rear window folds down. Now, many of you are familiar with this car already and its tiny size. But aside from the obvious damage to the front, the rest of the car is in pretty good shape. The door panels have a little bit of dirt and stuff on them. The interior is a little dirty, but it's not really that bad. It's all there. It's complete. Came with this fancy Sparco steering wheel, which I don't know if I'll use or not. Getting in and out of this car is a little bit tougher than the Beat was, but it would be nice to have a quick detach wheel for getting in and out of this car. But it's got a turbo timer hanging down there. It's got a weird button up underneath the dash that I'm not quite sure what it does yet. But the rest of the interior is in pretty good shape. I've wanted one of these for a long time, and this one came up at a junkyard. Wonder why it was at a junkyard. Who knows? Could be the incredible front end damage. So as you might expect, parts for this car are not going to be easy to come by. I've already been reaching out to some people and found some parts. Definitely not locally, but there are parts available. It's just going to be a little bit of a struggle to get to them and get them here. So today, the first episode on the Cappuccino, I'm just going to take these fenders, the front bumper, and maybe the hood off and just get all the damaged parts out of the way and see if there's any surprises underneath this stuff. Although I don't think there will be. I've already looked around underneath the car where these cars usually rust, and it's actually really clean underneath the car. Like the floor pans are in really good shape. There's not a bunch of rust in the rear arches. Rear fuel door is good. The trunk is good. It's actually a really clean cappuccino. This one in particular is a 95, so it's a EA21R. I don't know what the differences are between the EA11 and the EA21. That is future Jeff's problem. Yeah. So let's see how bad this looks underneath all this trash. I got the first fender off. Things don't look too bad aside from the obvious damage to the support up here. If you've never pulled a cappuccino fender off, it took me a little bit to figure it out. So this is the bottom part of the fender here. You pull that little plug out, and there's a bolt, a 10mm bolt right underneath it. And then you can see this part of the fender is slotted, and you slide it off these pegs at the bottom of the fender, which allows you to see these two body bolts right here. But as you can see, like underneath the fenders, this car is really clean, which is nice. That means like it's a pretty rust-free car, aside from the front end damage. So I'm going to pull this other fender off real quick, and we'll see where we're at. All right, everyone. So I got the bumpers off. I got the fenders off. I got the lower fenders off. Took off the upper part of the rad support here. And I was going to take off the lower where the other part of the rad support, but I'm going to leave that in for now because I can start and move the car if I need to. The cooling system is still filled up, but you can get an idea over on this side with some extra light. Yeah, she's hurt. She's going to need some extra love here. Right up in this front corner is where it looks like it hit the most. And you can tell also by if I fold the hood down, which I'm not going to do, but the hood is also bent way more on the driver's side. Come on. The left side of the car versus the right side of the car. So got to find some parts. Got to find a whole bunch of front end parts. I got to find a core support. There's a guy in Canada who says he has a core support for me. So I got to figure out how to get that here. It's in Toronto. So it's going to be, got to find out how much he wants for it and how much it's going to be. But once I have that, I can start the process of getting this put back together. And yeah, you can see here, there's the hood. I bent back a little bit of it. It's bent back into here, bent here, and of course at the front. But I'm sure once we get all the other parts on it, it's going to be a cool little car. So, and maybe I can get the rest of this stuff stripped off of here and get the new core support, find a frame shop or a frame rack here in town and have it pulled, and then start the repairs. So I definitely want to get this side pulled out, probably that side, get the upper frame rail lined up with a new fender so that when I put everything on, everything lines up kind of how it's supposed to. And then I can cut out pieces from the donor core support and weld them in as needed, which hopefully means I don't have to take the engine out and all the wiring. That is where the cappuccino is at. All right, so that is the cappuccino in a nutshell. That's the intro. That's my reinforcing the dumbest YouTuber on the planet for this week. Yeah, so if you know where to find parts, leave it in the comments below. I think I need a few parts. Not smart. Until next time, get out there and work on something.